This video is going to provide an overview and the very clear explanation of what is going to be expected of you as an 8th grade language arts student for your Q4 dystopian independent novel study. So the first thing we want to cover are student expectations. Number 1, students will read one of the assigned novel choices. Number 2, students will complete weekly reading comprehension questions each week for a classroom or quiz grade. Number 3, students will complete a culminating AKS project for a test grade. So the purpose of this project and this novel study is to allow you to read and analyze an example of dystopian literature entirely on your own. You are going to be applying all of the concepts we have learned this year. So the first step is that you need to read the book. Teachers have sent out novel choices and options. Out of whatever options your teacher provided you with, you need to let them know what book you're going to be reading and how you are accessing it. Some of the books are accessible via eClass. Some of them can be checked out through a digital library, or if you choose to purchase or borrow a physical copy of the book, that is absolutely fine as well. It is important before we go forward that you understand as a student that you cannot rely on a movie adaptation for this project. You will not be able to answer the questions that are assigned weekly, and you will not be able to finish the project to get a passing grade if you solely watch the movie. You are going to have to read the book. So this is a quote from a very famous American author. She's written several young adult dystopian novels. She says dystopian novels help people process their fears about what the future might look like. Further, they usually show that there is always hope, even in the bleakest future. So after you've picked out your book, each week you are going to be responsible for accessing weekly reading questions in Google Classroom. You can choose what order you want to complete those questions. You will not get credit if you do not use page numbers and textual evidence in your answers. Answers must be in complete sentences and demonstrate that you have read the book. And we need you to understand as students that we are checking for originality. If it appears that you have shared or copied your answers from another student or a website with summaries, you will not receive credit. So this is what those questions will look like. You will put the title of your book. You will let your teacher know if you are using an e-copy or a hard copy. So some suggestions for success. Each day, pick the questions you're going to focus on. As you read, take notes, write down page numbers. If you have a physical copy of your book, use sticky notes. Make sure that you are looking for answers as you read. Now, whenever you decide that you're done reading for the day, answer the questions as soon as you are finished. Don't wait and try and do them later because that's going to make it more difficult. Remember, you need to provide textual evidence. So you need to be able to provide page numbers and such for each thing that you are responding to. So the next thing is, what do you do if you don't understand a question? So these are AKS questions that go back and review some of these lessons we have not talked about since September. So what we have done for you is provided live links to review materials. So on these questions, there's live links. If you click on these live AKS links, they will take you to folders that have review PowerPoints for you to check and kind of review what the concept of the question is. After you have reviewed those lessons, if you're still unsure about what you're answering, reach out to a peer or your teacher for assistance. So the last thing you're going to do is a book project. You will complete one choice board project that focuses on a specific AKS. So you need to understand that you need to pick an assignment that demonstrates your strengths. So if you like to write, there are assignments that are specifically for people who enjoy writing. If you're artistic or musical, there are projects on this choice board that will fit your talents. Please choose an assignment or a project to complete that matches what you're good at. Don't pick an artistic project. If you can't draw, you're not artistic. I'm not. That's not what I would be doing on my choice board. So take a moment to carefully pick what you're going to do. And remember, this is a test grade. That's why it's important that you pick something that you're good at, because we expect you to turn in quality work. There will be a rubric posted, and before you turn in your project to your teacher, review that rubric and make sure that you have finished your assignment in such a way that you will receive a quality grade for the gradebook, because it is a test assignment. It is a test grade. So this is what your choice board will look like. It has 9 options on it. Some of these you've seen before. We have a traditional book report, a book trailer, a storyboard, change the perspective writing, a book talk. This would be turned in as a video because we're not in the classroom to do book talks, a movie poster, a poem or song, a movie comparison. This is for you if you really want to get in depth and compare your novel to a movie adaptation. There's an assignment here for you. And the last one we've added goes back to a concept we studied the 1st of September, is looking at the hero's journey. How does your novel, your story depict the hero's journey? So those are your choices. These are your important dates. So Monday, April 13th, the novel study officially begins. Read your book. Please don't put it off. Please don't be that kid that fails because they just wouldn't read. By Friday, April 17th, your first week questions are due. You'll have 10 questions. We strongly recommend you do 2 a day as you read. And you're going to want to look at the choice board and pick a project and inform your teacher of which project you plan to do. Some teachers may give you the option to submit ideas. If you've got a fresh idea for a project, you need to make sure you get approval. The following Friday, April 24th, the second set of independent reading questions will be due. There's only 5 this time, but they require longer responses. There's more to those questions. They're meatier. Monday, April 27th, and Tuesday, April 28th will be project days. So it'll be days to work on your novel or work on your project, excuse me. And then Wednesday, April 29th, your novel project will be due. So essentially for the next 2.5 weeks, all you're going to be doing is reading a book and applying everything you have learned this year to that book. Going forward, after this, we'll spend our time in May with explicit review materials to prepare for the final. You will have a final in language arts. So because we will not be taking a quarter 4 reading assessment in the classroom, this project is serving as your quarter 4 reading test grade. So all of us as the 8th grade teachers are asking that you please take this seriously. Take this as your opportunity to read something enjoyable and get an excellent test grade for the gradebook in the process. So those are the instructions for the upcoming novel study. If you have any questions or concerns, please reach out to your specific teacher, especially if you have concerns about accessing the books. We do have books on eClass. I hope that you enjoy this project, and good luck.